Hello again. I am Kerry Tamura, otherwise known as CT, and I want to talk to you a little bit about being a buyer right now during these coronavirus COVID-19 times. We're in the beginning of April here, and the market is shut down. So there's not a lot of showings going on if you're a buyer. You're probably already aware of that. In New York State, showings, open houses, all these things are not allowed as per Governor Cuomo and the state. So the question is, if you are a buyer and you're in contract now, or then you're kind of bound by the rules of that contract. There are things you can do if you're trying to get out of it, or potentially even trying to negotiate a downward price and have the ability to potentially get out of it because of a financing contingency. Then you may have a little bit of leverage there. If you're past your financing contingency, then you're probably in a situation where you're going to need to close. Definitely check with your lawyers about this. Different contracts differ, and that stuff is important to be aware of. And only your lawyer knows really well that your particular situation. If you're negotiating a contract, then there's still the opportunity for you to do things like renegotiate the price. I've been saying this in recent updates. We've seen this happen in a number of contract negotiations for where buyers have wanted to drop the price 5 to 10%, with sellers in some cases agreeing to those price drops in order to get the place under contract and to get to closing. If you are a buyer and you do not have anything under contract, you're not negotiating contract, but you're thinking about it, well, I think you're not alone in thinking that this is potentially a very good opportunity to be a buyer in the coming weeks or months as the coronavirus restrictions lighten, as we get over the hump and the market starts to pick back up, which it will. Then there is going to be some pretty good opportunities for well-capitalized buyers to actually buy real estate, whether that's an investment or whether it's a home, not only because prices have seen downward pressure, but also because mortgage rates are at historic lows. So if you're not already talking to a lender, you should be, because you want to get the pre-approval process in the works. And you may also want to talk to them about rate locks to see how long you can lock rates at low prices. And if you lock a rate, what happens if the rate goes down? Typically, lenders will allow you to take the lower rate, or I don't know if I should say typically, but there are lenders out there that will allow you to take the lower rate in some cases, and in some cases they won't. So it depends on the lender you're working with. There are some great programs, like First Republic has a great program for certain parts of the city, particularly I think sort of economic development zone type places where you can lock the rate, but then also they'll allow you to take advantage of a lower rate if it comes along. So good to know about these things, ask about them. You're certainly welcome to reach out to me to talk, to get you in touch with a good lender to ask questions about this stuff too. And I think the last thing I just want to mention is when you're looking at this situation with real estate in New York City versus the situation with the stock market, stocks have dropped 30% in the first quarter from their highs and have rebounded now about 10%. I think everyone expects the stock market to drop again and retest those lows. Real estate has not dropped 30% and is not going to drop 30%, or it's very unlikely that that's going to happen. Real estate maybe has dropped 5 or 10%, depending on, like I say, the sellers and the situation. And the longer this goes, the more chance there is of greater price reductions. But, every time you see a major market drop, it's also a buying opportunity, right? So if you have cash that you've been saving, you have cash parked on the sidelines, then you can put that cash to work, whether that's a stock market opportunity or whether in this case it's a real estate opportunity that may be coming soon. So a lot of doom and gloom, and if you're on the sell side, yeah, it kind of sucks. This is not a good time to be a seller, to be honest. But if you're a buyer, you should really be positioning yourself going forward to be in a good place to take advantage of deals that are going to happen once this all lifts. So that's my advice. Take it or leave it. Ask me questions. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Stay distanced. And I'll talk to you again.